How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we're just going to be going over the 1 year review of the CRV hybrid. Now also we'll have a 1 year review on the non-hybrid CRV. So if you're waiting for that content, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on it. I'll have it shortly after this one. But anyway, so yeah, it's been just about a year since the CRV has been out. So here we are with the 1 year update. So I'm going to go over some recalls that it's had and some issues that we have seen. So far so good, but again, we're going to cover all that stuff. So let's go ahead and get started with some of the recalls. So now there is a block inspection for it. Very minimum cars have been affected by this. So we might get one or two here and there. We're not certain on it, but again, very low fail rate. But it is an issue that Honda seemed to want to address. So here we are with that. There's also an issue with the ECVT, which is the transmission. Again, very minimal fail rate. So we have not seen either one of these recalls just yet. And last but not least, there is a PGMFI software update. That is a simple software update that we perform with the HDS and get you back on the road. So again, not a big deal. So some of the things we have seen so far personally here in my dealership, and if you're a tech from another dealership or you own one of these vehicles and you have an issue, make sure you guys do drop a comment down below just so we share the knowledge amongst the community. So we have had one of these PCU power inverters over here fail right over here. We did one, so wasn't a big deal. It's actually pretty simple to change, obviously very expensive, but it was covered under a warranty. So not a big deal to the customer at this point. We've also had, this was brand new out of the factory, we had a dash harness that was pinched underneath and it had an SRS code. So that harness was just routed incorrectly right from the factory. So out of the truck that delivered the vehicle, the light was on. So we addressed that before the vehicle was even delivered to the customer. And once that was fixed, the car was good to go. We also had one of the IMA battery, or battery pack that's under here, fail. Relatively newer vehicle. I had a couple hundred miles on it at the time, so we replaced the battery pack and the customer was back on the road. So again, obviously you don't want to be having any of these issues, but these are all one-time failures that we've seen. We have not seen multiple failures of any of that nature. And last but not least, we had one of these harnesses for the power tailgate here that was just routed incorrectly again, and it was twisted in a manner, so and the pins actually ripped out of the connector that goes in here, and was a very simple procedure to do, and that was also just a one-time failure. So overall, I think the vehicle has been great. Obviously, it's only been a year, so only time will tell really where we go from here. But from what I can see so far, it has been great. We haven't seen any warped rotors, any tires cupping, or anything of that nature. But again, these vehicles are not coming in with extreme mileage. So just go over some real world numbers. We are getting 38.9 miles per gallon. As you can see, this vehicle only has 733 miles, so not a big sample size, but that is some real world fuel economy. Now, this concerns me over here. I've talked about this when these vehicles were new, and you can see some debris already in there and all around this. You can see where there's some coffee going on here. There's a shaving machine. So just be mindful of this. If this does get contaminated, then it's not going to be covered by Honda. And we see a lot of them failing on the older vehicles, so there's no reason that this would be any different. And especially with some liquids, I would be super careful. And you can see the cup holder placement is horrible, or the switch placement is horrible, and maybe a better spot would be somewhere over here. But you know, I don't design these cars, I just work on them, and this is where they chose to put this stuff. So this could have been easily placed somewhere else, but you know, here we are. So, and this is you know, pretty evident that people will use this stuff and you know, over bumps or whatever, you know, stuff happens, and it's definitely going to be an issue over time, in my opinion. So like I said, that's basically it. If you are a Honda tech, then make sure you guys drop a comment down below if you see any common issues or something you've seen once, twice, three, four times on these vehicles, just so we spread the word on the community. But from what I can see so far, these vehicles are doing pretty good versus some other vehicles that come out and immediately we have two or three, four, five, six of the same exact issue. So being that these issues are isolated to one vehicle is pretty good. Obviously, we don't want to be reporting any issues, but these cars are mass produced, and stuff like this will happen. And the key thing is here to get it fixed right the first time and get the vehicle back to the customer so they have confidence in the car that they're obviously paying every month for, whether it be a lease or a finance. So I think the car looks great. I love the color in this trim. Actually, I think it's a great blue. I love Honda blues and Honda reds. Obviously that has nothing to do with the vehicle, but just something I figured I'd mention at this point. So you can see we have all season mats here and everything, and the customer has opted for a full size spare, which the vehicle does not come with. So just something to keep in mind. It comes with a fix-a-flat kit and a tire pump. So just something to be mindful for. And that's kind of a growing trend, not with just Honda, but with a lot of manufacturers, just to save some weight. Obviously, this is not convenient because you take away a lot of trunk space. But if this is the route you choose to go, then you may do so, and that's that'll be up to you at that point. So I'm gonna wrap this video up, guys. And again, if you're in the market for one of these vehicles, the fuel economy is pretty good, in my opinion. They have been relatively good and reliable. A couple of recalls, very, very few cars have been affected by these recalls, but they are there, so I will mention them just so you know what you're getting into. And those recalls apply just to the 2023 model years, not the 2024 model years and on. So with that being said, guys, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. And I will be having a video on the non-hybrid version as well. So if you're interested in that, just stay on the lookout for that video. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.